Hey, Zoomers and Zoomettes out there in television land. Sounds a little bit like George Bush, that guy. World Zoom. Just a little bit. You're not W, but senior. HW. Bush. All right, guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this recent arrest of World Zoom. And I don't know, maybe I should just, I tried to read the article, and because I was off the screen here or off this browser, something happened. I'm like reading all this stuff going on for like 12 minutes, and then it recorded only like 1 minute. Um, but listen, this is some stuff that I think not everybody knows, because I'm watching some of these videos that's covering this, and they're getting pieces of it, you know what I mean? Like pieces of the truth or whatever, but they're not really, I'm not seeing anybody talk about the whole thing. And if you just Google this guy, and you have to be able to sift through stuff, right? Because there's another guy with the same name that has a middle name, like Paul James Cardwell or something, some British guy or some shit. That's not him. Like just forget that. But if you just watch and look at the links, you'll know which one's his, this guy in question. And most of them are from like the original stuff that happened, back 10, 12 years ago, you know. But yeah, this guy actually embezzled or, I mean, I wrote down some key points, but there was like 3 felony charges that were against him, right? Conspiracy to commit mail fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and money laundering. Okay, and there was a $1.7 million restitution that was involved with his sentence. Okay, with his case, and then according to him, and there was also some kind of a civil court settlement that he made with these hospitals. I think the might have been the one. I don't know if it was the one in Wyoming or the other one, but it was like $3.5 million. So let me just go over this real quick, and then but let me say up front that it looks like, well, number one, I mean, he's, regardless of whether anything was concluded or not, he's a convicted felon. So he's not going to be able to get a retirement residency visa, okay? Because that's what he was trying to do. And I have one of those, and they do a background check on you. They do like an FBI or Interpol or just a police check. It's kind of like up to you, right? Like, I mean, you can do a police check or an FBI check in your home country, or they could do an Interpol check. If you've been here for more than like 3 months, they could just do an Interpol check, checking everything. But anyway, so that's one reason why, bang, the red flag came up. It's like, well, he can't get a retirement residency visa, that's for sure. And then when he was trying to renew his tourist visa after before his 30 days was up, before that free 30 days that everyone gets when they come here, before that was up, they do a check, man. Like when you extend your tourist visa, they do that. The reason why it takes 2-3 hours, and that's if you rush it. You can get it the same day, but usually you got to come back. You do all your stuff in the office, and then they say, "Oh, come back in 2 hours or whatever, or an hour." That's because they're doing a check. Like to make sure that you're not wanted somewhere outside the Philippines, and you're trying to harbor. You're trying to harbor yourself within the Philippines. As a criminal. With a warrant on you or whatever, you know what I mean? So that's another reason why I think he was, caught. They said a fraud case, but it's probably because he never really concluded these cases, because I don't think he paid back the money. Okay? He didn't pay back probably the restitution or the civil, at least not completely, and probably not even close to completely, but I don't know for sure, but it's certainly enough money to where he's still outstanding in the U.S. You know, they're looking for him. You know. All right, so now I'll just talk about the history. Okay, like a lot of guys out there maybe don't know that he did this twice, not just in Wyoming in 2011, but between 2003 and 2009. And actually, there was one story that said 2000 between 2001 and 2009. So whatever. In Indiana, he did the same exact thing for about the same amount of money. It was like $850,000 that he basically stole, embezzled, whatever you want to call it. Um, and then he must have learned something from that, as the judge said in the article from about 10 years ago when they sentenced him, before they sentenced him to 10 years in prison. She said, well, he must have learned from that, because then the second time he did it in Wyoming, it only took 6 months. He was only there for 6 months, and took the same amount of money. But of course, he was caught. They started auditing these payments that were going to this company, this physician referral company that he was just a fake company that him and another guy were running, right? And so the guy did it twice. Obviously, had no remorse after doing it the first time. He did it twice, and I think that now in 2012, while he was free on bond, he stole a family member's passport and fled to Thailand. And then they found him, not too long after that. I don't know if it was like 6 months later or something like that, or a year later. They caught up with him. In 2013 is when he was caught in Thailand and then sent back to the U.S. And in the meantime, I think he did do some jail time in Thailand, while they were waiting extradition, to get him out of there and back to the U.S. But the guy he lied about so much stuff, I mean, he said he was a Navy SEAL. He said that he was a surgeon that worked on Peyton Manning's, surgery that he had as a football player. And don't forget, he was he played for Indianapolis Colts at that time, Peyton Manning. And this guy's from like Indiana. So, he tried to say when he was in like Wyoming or wherever else he was trying to say, oh, back in Indiana, I was a surgeon. Or he told somebody that I was a surgeon. I worked on Peyton Manning's surgery, Like total crap, man. It's like a pathological liar, But anyway, I don't know. I just wanted to. I'm probably gonna put the link to this article in the description, okay? And I'll put a link to the other one about the fact that he did testify against his cellmate, okay? Not long after he started doing his prison time, for the Wyoming thing. And yeah, so that definitely happened, and that could have shortened his sentence, but he still had other things. You're still on like parole. You're on supervised release for 3 years after they released him. So if you screw up within that time, you're wanted again, okay? Plus the fact that he probably didn't pay off all that money that he was supposed to pay off. So, because everybody's wondering, like, oh, did they just try and arrest him on that old charge that's already been settled or something in the U.S.? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, pal. I don't think that's how it works, That's like an FBI check or something. He's still got some fraud case pending, and it could be just because of the fact that he didn't pay the money back, from the original cases. So anyway, guys, that's about it. I don't want to go on too long here, but I thought I would just inject some information on you guys, just so you know what's going on with this guy. And yeah, that's about it. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.